Okay, let me know how this is. I'm trying to test this out. And apparently, I have an assignment and I have to bake a cake at some point. So, I don't know how I'm going to do this live. I don't know how I'm going to do it live. I need to check the sound because I tried to record something with Eric earlier and it did not work out for many different reasons. So I'm going to try to listen to what I sound like, see how it sounds. Okay, it sounds okay. I'm currently on a tent on the freeway. So if you hear a bunch of traffic, that's what it is. Okay, the sound is good. I think it's good. It's pretty good. Okay. I think I'm going to be okay. So, Eric is working right now. I am uncomfortable with just how good the quality is on this camera. I'm like, oh, I feel like my blemishes are going to show up and all that kind of stuff. And I've been eating like a hog, so I'm a little bit of moon. Um, Today's my hoggy day where I'm eating a lot. But I ate a lot, I think, the day before yesterday too. And then, yeah. I feel like I'm in high school. Hey, bot. How's the sound? Let me know. I'm testing out the sound. But it is so weird to be in my hometown. I will just say, I need to know when Eric's coming back. I already forgot. Okay, the sound is good. Okay. I'm not home. I'm at Eric's place. This is Eric's place. There's two dogs. And I live in a tent on the freeway, like I told you. So if you hear, that's what I call it. If you hear traffic, that's why. You can tell we're not in the country anymore. This is the city. Toto is not home. I ain't home. But I have a Toto. He's by the door right now. I don't know if Eric has left out his social security cards all over, so I'm going to be paranoid. A whole new form of paranoia. But how are you doing, bot? I think I have a minute. But like I said, I'm making a cake. He wants me to make it ASAP, which I have been so discombobulated. Oh my God, bot. Wow. How long have you been without it? If you haven't been, or if you have been. And then I was trying to take my picture today. Oh, okay. Well, don't have it. I was trying to take my picture today, the albatross picture, but it didn't work because we went at noon and that is not a good time. That's really fugly. So I'm going to have to try again another day and try to get it at a different time, like towards the evening. Um, yeah. So it looks like I can work still with this because if the mic is fine, then I can still do YouTube with the webcam at least, which it looks pretty good quality. So I guess I'll try to film with him tonight. We'll have to do it over again. Hey, Shannon. We'll have to do it over again, which is so ugly. But at least I can talk more shit for the hell of it with him. I'm just kidding. But maybe we'll just do it again because I don't want to come up with things. I'm really lazy. I'm just kidding. I'm not lazy, but I don't want to come up with something after I already came up with something. Like, that is so ugly. But no, you didn't miss a live stream. I haven't been live since the airport. I don't want to make a cake right now. I'm so lazy. I will just say I feel like I'm in high school. I'm sitting at home watching Degrassi, eating like a hog, and there's 2 dogs here, and I'm not doing anything, and I'm not working, and I'm lazy, and I'm like, wow, I feel like I'm in high school, and I'm in my hometown. And I even saw my fugly ass apartment that I used to live in back in 2018. You have to say it Britishy. Back in 2018, back then, when I was living here, I saw it when I went to Sprouts, the one I used to walk to. And that was weird. It's 2018. 2018. Since you don't speak Britishy, how dare you, bot? How dare you? I'm 4 days into my diet, feeling okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm just eating. We had the wedding yesterday, and I actually drank a little bit of wine. I was so bad yesterday. Oh my God, I drank some champagne at the wedding. But I didn't get drunk or anything, but it was kind of funny because my friends are making fun of me. My one friend was like, oh my gosh, I never see you drink. I love that, Shannon. I can only do that accent because I've watched this ASMR guy for years, like all the time, like pretty much every day to sleep. So that's why. He's from Britain. He's Britishy, but I'm not sure if I can do his accent, but I can do a Britishy one because I learned a bit more how to do it, because the common mistake a lot of people in America, I don't know how to say that. I have gaps in my Britishy. But the common mistake a lot of people make is they go too hard on it and they make it too much. So when you try to be super British, then it can sound really bad. But I learned, because I've been listening to it for years. The States. I don't know all the word choices. I don't know everything they would say. I know. I don't think they would say that. That's where I lose it. I don't know like those kind of things. But I'm not like, I'm sure a Britishy person could totally know. I'm sure a Britishy person would totally know, but it's like, I don't know. To be fair, America's a continent. Sure, I guess. Like, I'm sure a native would definitely know that I'm not. But I will say, one time Sarah, when she's from New Zealand, she told me I did a pretty good one. So I took that as a compliment. I was like, okay. If a New Zealander is like, you can do it okay, then I'm like, okay, that's pretty good. But anyways, I've got to make a cake pretty soon. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. We're just making a cake to be fat, basically, because Erica's finally, or he's gonna just not do. Pretty much, but it's pretty accurate for sure. But he's gonna do or he's finally gonna break his deficit today, because I don't know if he did like another day, but he went to Korean barbecue a couple times. I went on Friday, and there was like some kind of tea there, which that was kind of messy because I'm gonna spill the tea. I don't care. I don't think Eric cares. But he went on a date with one of the waiters at that Korean barbecue place. And it was so weird because they had like a perfectly fine date, and it was completely fine, and there were no issues, and there was nothing wrong. But the way that the guy acted when we went to the restaurant, you would think they had like a 2-year relationship, and that Eric had completely burned him because he like hated him. He was super salty. He basically like, I guess Eric got super busy and I guess just couldn't see him again. And so the guy tripped out. Hey, Newly. Hey, BL. I don't think so, but but we were like blacklisted. It was terrible service, horrible service. And the waiter guy that was into him never went up to him. Like he never talked to him after we walked in. Like he sat us down and he was like, Eric was trying to decide between 5 or 6 people. And the guy was like, he's like 5 or 6. And the guy that he went on the date with was like, he was like, do you want to sit down or not? And it was like all like fugly. And then he never checked on us the whole time. And at Korean barbecue, waiters often will like cycle through, and we hardly ever had anybody. It was really bad service. So thank you, Eric, I guess, for burning the waiter, even though the waiter like wasn't burned by him. So yeah, salt flows, I guess. I don't get it. I personally don't get it because Eric didn't reject the guy. And they went on one date. So it was like really extra, basically, in my opinion. But it is what it is. So that's what we dealt with there. It was so good. But it was like we ate a little too much. So, or like our group ordered too much. So that was kind of hard. It's hard to time those things. I don't know if he did or not, but I mean, whatever. People are weird like that. I'm pretty sure I don't know if I'm pretty sure he could tell I was gay, but I don't think he would think that. I think it was more like assault. Eric says it's like assault of, oh, I thought you couldn't hang out with or you can't hang out with me because you're too busy, but you're here with all your friends, which is really weird and bizarre because it's like they're not boyfriends, and I don't know what is up with that in the gay world to like have such expectation, like back in the past when I was salty, I was only salty because I felt rejected by the guy that I like. But other than that, why would you be salty? It's like you're not, if you feel rejected, that's one thing, but Eric didn't reject the guy. Like they made out and all that stuff. They didn't do that. Yeah, I love how I'm just totally talking shit, but I know Eric doesn't care. That's why. But they didn't go all the way. They just made out. But it's like that was enough, I guess, to get pissed. I don't get it. I really don't. So to me, it's like kind of crazy, acting as if Eric is his boyfriend or like he's in love with him after meeting him once. Like it's just weird. I just felt like there's so much projection onto him or something. It's just odd. Very odd. And to me, it's just odd to get that salty about it. But I guess it is like a messy gay thing. But the guy he's not femme or anything, the guy that he went on the date with. So I guess even the masculines get that way. Very weird. Very weird. Because typically I would say it's like messy queen behavior, but it's not. So, what are you going to do, right? And Eric was talking about it a little bit at the wedding, and some of his other friends were like, no, he's like, you didn't do anything wrong, blah, blah, blah. And like, I don't think he did anything wrong either. It's just, how dare you not be available right now kind of thing. And it's like, people are busy. People have lives. Like, people have issues. People have things going on. Like, you can't expect people to be at your beck and call. I feel like that should be normal, or that should be like an understanding. But maybe it's skipped the gay world, and gay men just don't get it some of the time. But I get it. I get it because for me, I'm not like, I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm like the most independent person ever, but I guess I just don't live by gay world standards. I still look at things, I guess, because I'm so involved in the hetero world. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's like I see things from a normal perspective. And it's like, if you're not there, then you're not there, But it is very like high school. So, and I've been so high school lately. I will say. to be really gay. I will just say this. I wasn't going to get super into it, but it is funny because my crush did message me and I got so high school. I was like, "Oh my god." Like I felt like I was going to have a heart attack cuz I was so gay about it. Um but I could play it cool. But I was so extra. Like I was on the phone with Eric when I got the message and I was like, "Oh my gosh." I was like, "Oh my gosh, ASMR guy messaged me." And Eric was like, "Oh my gosh." He's like, "Calm down." He's like, "You're acting so high school." Which I've had this song in my mind, which by the way, these are lyrics on this stream. And I was like, I am in high school. I was like, I'm at Delamo Mall, which is the mall in Torrance. I was like, and I just saw the guy, like, and I'm in high school right now, and you're gonna have to deal with it. So I had like a mini breakdown because I wasn't expecting it, but I was so happy. Obviously, I was happy. It was like a positive breakdown. But again, it's like, even with some communication, I don't have that view of like entitlement or like, oh, he's my boyfriend now, or oh, this, or oh, that. Like, it's just like, I just got to talk to my crush. Like, I'm just happy about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why? I don't understand that kind of entitlement. Like, why the fuck would you be mad at somebody that went on a date with you, had a good date, and then made out with you? That is so weird. Well, I don't think I would even like, that's so funny. Well, I'm just saying, like, the point is that I'm acting so high school. I think because I feel younger, which is weird. So it's like I'm trying to like mesh like feeling younger with being older at the same time. It's a very weird time because it's like I have to balance maturity with levity and fun and playfulness. And I feel like I'm trying to combine these things. And it is happening because it's like we went to a wedding and one of my best friends from first grade, she got married. And she even said, she's like, look at us. She's like, we're so grown up now, blah, 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 kind of thing, which is funny because it's a very grown up thing to get married. But then there's like all these cheesy, like high school drama slash crush slash, things going on behind the scenes. So I think that's kind of how 2024 is. There's a lot of like new juvenile energy combined with these like old, long standing issues. And I'm trying to like mesh them into one, and that's 2024. It's very weird because at the same time we have all these like long-standing endings. Like I'm dealing with probably the end of my hypothyroidism, the end of morbid obesity. These are things I've been with for like 15 years or a very long time, and those are going away, and I'm at the very bitter end and they feel very old. But at the same time there's like crush and oh my gosh, and and oh my gosh, he talked to me, all that gay shit. At the same time as like friends are getting married and all this stuff. It was such a blessing. It was a beautiful wedding, by the way. It was beautiful. Um, it was fun, and then it's like I'm drinking a little bit. Then my friend was making fun of me because I've been watching Degrassi because he always has Degrassi on, which Degrassi is like a high school show, by the way. And it is one I watched when I was in high school. And it's just funny because it's just weird it's a really weird feeling to be in your stomping ground and to be like where I was my whole life, to be in SoCal, to be in Torrance. I'm from Torrance. So it's like I'm seeing like, this is my pavilion that I used to go to. This is my mall that I used to go to when I was in high school. This is my Sprouts that I used to go to, like when I worked at the airport. It's like, and then I went to the LAX because I landed there, and it's like, this is where I was working when I moved. This is where this happened. This is where that happened. I was seeing like friends' parents that I haven't seen in a very long time. I will say, as far as the deaf thing, I think the deaf thing is over. I was very noticed at the wedding. and people recognized me, saw me. Like, so I actually had a different experience where I was very much recognized and visible and noticed, and people did notice that I had lost weight. So it's been a very positive experience. I really don't have any complaints about that. Oh, I love that. I love that, Lexi. I'm in Torrance. I'm in my hometown. I saw my hospital where I was born. That's a trip. I saw the hospital I was born at, and I was like, wow, I am in my hometown. That's a weird feeling. It's pretty weird. So, because last time I came back to Cali, I was like, I don't want to be in my hometown. Like, I want to run. Like, I wanted to get the hell out of Dodge. And so I told my friend Zeta, I was like, I don't want to be in Torrance. I don't want to be in LA County. Like, I want to just go right to the freaking San Diego. I was like, just get me out of here. I was like, get me off the plane, out of LAX, and let's go straight to San Diego. And so we did. So it was still like a very vacation-y. There was like some triggers because I spent a lot of times in Orange County too. So like I could see the street names like as we were driving by, and I called it like the Trail of Trauma. I actually have a vlog. Maybe I should post it. That would be funny. From 2022 when we were driving down, I think the 405, and it was like the Trail of Trauma, and it was like all the different things. And like we were like, my friend was crying because she's dealing with a breakup at the time, and she's like, this is where I get off to go to his house, and you know, like that kind of thing. And then I was like, oh my god, that's where I would go to high school when I went to Fountain Valley. I went to Orange County High School. It was so fugly. I hated it. I hated Orange County so much. And then I'm like, oh, this is where I would get off here, and like it was just so fugly, fugified. So it was just funny to kind of see like all those things that time, but I was still so like raw, and like I could not have really dealt with being here because I was not very mentally strong in 20, like I was strong-ish in 2022, but I was still like very traumatized. I don't know how to describe it, or very like bitter, I guess is the right word. So I did not want to be here. But this time I was like, no, I'm coming back. I'm going to my hometown. I'm seeing everybody. I'm seeing everything. And I'm fine. And it is weird to see it with a different pair of eyes, and to see it with a less hypo pair of eyes, to see it with through a healthier perspective. Oh, thank you. Thank you, sweetest. To see it with a different perspective from what I was here. Because when I was last here, like in 2018, I was so sick. Just across all levels. Like I was physically ill, I was mentally ill. Like my, ED was so bad. So bad. It was getting so much worse. But I was fighting it very hard. And sometimes it gets worse as you fight it. So I was fighting it very, very hard in 2018. And, I had that perspective of like, if I can just get out of town, then I can get better. But I went somewhere the same or worse when I went to El Paso. It was like basically a lateral move. So it did not help. No, I didn't. I didn't, Jaded. But I kind of heard about that. I have heard. It's easier to see old people when you're doing really well. That's true. When the thing too is like, it hasn't been a great few years, like a lot of years, it's been rough. So I think when we're going through, like, it's like I see this mall and I'm like, oh gosh, I used to go with this person that's now an enemy, and then that same person, well, I don't know if they're an enemy anymore, but I went to, it's just like there's old drama there. Does that make sense? So when there was kind of like old drama and I see that person at the wedding, it's like, ooh, like I think back in 2022, that would have been harder for me, but it wasn't. It was fine. Nothing happened, thank God. And it wasn't a big deal. And so I feel like those kind of things are really good in the sense of like, I can just deal with things better. I don't know how to describe it. It just doesn't bother me as much because it's like you said, Shannon, I think I'm just in a better place. Um, Shannon, just ignore that person. That person is crazy, honestly. So I'm just ignoring. I suggest you guys do the same. Just pretend that they're not there. But anyways, so yeah, I was doing my whole like, I do feel like I'm doing better. Yeah, it kind of is, feel for sure. It's also just being healthier, you know. I've been a few years now without my ED and I'm less hypo. I've lost 100 pounds, right? Like, I'm not super morbidly obese anymore. Like, there's a lot of factors. And then I am also 32, you know? So it's like I'm not tripping as much about things. And I liked that I could have a drink or two and it wasn't a big deal. Soon it's more the mental sound path to the other. Oh, I love that, Lexi. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like, I don't know. I feel so much better than I used to feel here. And I'm not who I was when I lived here. Like, I was very shy. I was very, very shy. Okay. I think I'm going to block this person. So, because I think I'm done. So let's go ahead. We're going to do it. I'm just done. Okay. But anyways, so, yeah, I was just like, my whole thing was like, I don't know. I just feel better, basically. That's kind of my thing. I am just like, I don't know. It's a trip. It really is a trip. That's all I can say. And then other than that, I'm just kind of seeing what to do and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, pretty much, y'all. Because for me, it's like, I just don't, I don't know. Things aren't bothering me as much. And I'm sure it'll be a little bit different when I go back. I think, to be honest, this is probably more of like in some ways, it's a preview of how things will be. I think in other ways, it's a preview of, you know, because I think when I go back really much more into the deficit and I start losing again and I go back to work, you know, and I do all these things, I probably will get irritated again, you know, and I'll probably go back down a bit. But it has been really good to just take a breather and just like not deal with all this crap as much. Like, it's been nice to actually have a break. So that part's been good too, because I think that can help. And then it just helps me stay a little bit more in perspective. Because again, like, it was a lot. Like, the wedding was a lot. It was very stimulating. And I was just really, really, yeah, like, I was really overstimulated. Like, towards the end, I was getting so tired. I was like having an introverted moment. And the bride, she walked up to me like towards the end of the night, like towards when I left. And she was just like, "Are you having an introvert moment?" And I was like, "Yes, I am." I was like, "I definitely am. I'm tired." I was like, "I'm not miserable or anything. I'm just tired and I need to sit down," because I could not like even pretend to be on the dance floor. I couldn't even pretend. I was just exhausted because it was a lot. Like, it was, you know, it was a big event. It was a big deal. And oh my God. Okay. But if you ever see anything, just block it. Okay. I'm giving you permission, bot. Thank you, but I'm not gonna address it anymore. Anyway, okay, I'll give you a mod too. Okay. So funny. But anyways, yeah, so that was new job pays better. Oh, that's good. I rage quit my job a few months ago. I didn't realize how much it was affecting me until I quit. I sleep better. I have almost no anxiety. Just chill all the time. That's great. I think that it's like, oh my gosh. No, it's personal. We'll say that. It's a personal thing. It's a personal person. It's been a long standing thing. Which I think people can understand that. I don't mind criticism. I don't mind just stuff. I just need it to be like real, you know? I don't need like made up crap or stuff that's totally off topic. It's just really annoying. Oh my God. Yeah, I did. Oh my God. Oh my God, Lisa. That's so funny. So, yeah, anyways. Yeah. I just think it's funny because to me, it's like, I don't, I don't know. Yeah. I know you guys are funny. But yeah, so anyways, my whole thing is like it's just finding those balances and like I said, I have moments. I there are times when I want to fight and then there are times when I don't. There are times when I'm ready to go and when I'm not. Like I switch sometimes and I'm not really in that mood because I honestly just feel better. You know, I feel more positive in general. And so I know that it's a hard time and I think it's better to oh my gosh. Sure thing, VL. Um, but yeah, I think I just I don't know, like I feel better. That's all I can say. I just do feel better, genuinely. And I kind of reflected before I went on the trip, and I was just like I told you guys when I had that one stream where it was like promised to be dazzling. And I was just like, I feel like I should just be a bit more positive because it is such a dark time. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Since it is such a dark time, I was just like, well, I can be a little bit more of a light. It is difficult for me. It's not natural, but at the same time, I think it's just like, when do we finally reach a point where we can be a little happier? You know? Lisa's corruption era. Oh my God. Well, to me, it's like, when can we declare some kind of victories? I have so much stuff to go back to. Like when I get back, I have to hit the ground running. This month is going to be very difficult financially. It's like everything kind of goes back to like nothing. My little brat moment is going to be done. So it's like, I don't know. I think that that's kind of my thing, you know. I love that. I love that, Lisa. I love it very much. Anyways, yeah, so that's kind of my thing. I think it'll be just it's nice to just be a little happier. But like I said, I do get salt. I am I call it my albatross era. So I'm going to be launching that as far as branding. Um, yes, bubble. Yes, 100%. And I think too, like, I am seeing more salt in general. So an albatross, it's a bird. It's a metaphor. People say that it's like people will say there's an albatross, like it's something like it. They say it as something that drags you down, but according to the legend, it's actually a bird that would like. Oh gosh, it's like a very long story, but basically, according to legend, it has to do. I can't remember what legend it is or anything, but the basic story is the albatross is this bird that would show up before a storm, and there was like a sailor, and the sailor would see the albatross every time and would shoot it down. And so every time the bird was shot down, because it was seen as bad luck. And so in reality, it ended up that the bird was protecting the sailor, and the bird was the actual, like, the bird was actually a good luck charm or helping the person. Yeah, many once believed that albatrosses embodied the souls of lost sailors and possessed magical qualities that could be harnessed to aid in healing. To harm an albatross was a harbinger of the sea's wrath. That too, yes. Yeah, I guess, Lisa. But yeah, so that's kind of my whole thing is like, I think it works because albatross, it has that negative connotation, but it's actually like a good thing. And I feel like that's good for like my small fat era. That's good for this era I'm going into, because I was trying to talk about it in the video that I made with Eric, which maybe we'll try to redo it tonight. But basically, like, for me, because I'm coming from such a big size, I'm going to like be in that era for a long time. And I'm starting to see the salt, and I'm starting to see like we're getting more hate, we're getting more this, we're getting more that. But there is love as well. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and like complain about it all the time, but it is going on where there is that element of like people are getting salty. So they're getting jealous and weird and, you know, acting really weird. Like today. So I don't think it's gonna stop. I think it has to do with the fact that I'm doing better. And I don't know why, but I've learned that there's a lot of people who are half supportive or who support up to a certain point. And then if you start to do better than that, then they try to tear you down. So it's really weird. But I think that that's what's happening too. So, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Yes, Lisa, you're talking about that. So that's a part of it. But I think because I'm coming from such a big size, it is causing that salt going on. So I think that that's why. And the salt will last a long time. And I'm doing it public, and I'm doing all these things. Yes, I agree, VL, but also like I've always been that way. So the only thing that's changed is my size. You see what I'm saying? I was that way when I was bigger. I was that way when I was mid fat. I'm still the exact same. So I haven't changed. And so what has changed is my size. So they're okay with me being that way when I'm bigger, but now they're not. That's the difference. And it's because it's not about the critique, or it's not about the behavior, it's not about me. It's about the fact that I've changed, or that my size has changed, that things have changed, that I'm starting to look better, I'm starting to feel better, or just succeed in certain ways physically. I still have plenty of non-successes to look at. I'm not like really thriving like that, but I'm not dying anymore. And I think that that's upsetting, because a lot of people want you to self-destruct, and they want you to just completely implode and do very poorly, and they don't like to see you do better. And I've had that happen to me a lot. So I know a lot of these online people think that they're so different, or they're so cool, or that I've never dealt with it before in my life. I've had many moments in my life where my status has shifted, and it's happened every time. So it's just retard, in my opinion. But it's like, I don't know. I do not care. And I think that that's something that they're going to have to see, is that I don't care. I don't know. But I'm in my albatross era, so I'm going to do a little bit of a rebrand. I'm going to do a little bit of like things to kind of embody this, just because it's, oh, nice. That's nice, Lisa. I'm going to kind of embody this just because it's going to last a while. You know, it could last almost a year. It could last a long time, because I think I'm at the very beginnings of it, and it's likely to get worse, or to get more, it's likely to just get worse as time goes on. So I'm going to use it as I use everything. And I'm not going to internalize it very much, because I haven't really changed that much. If anything, I've even been a little softer. I'm even not as harsh. So it'll be interesting to see. But I kind of knew that this would happen, because I think subconsciously that's partly why I didn't want to lose the weight, like when I was younger, because I knew that these kind of things would happen, but I just don't care anymore. And maybe that's being 30, is you just don't care. I don't care about what other people think as much. Like, I'm not going to say it never ever gets to me or whatever, but it just, usually if it gets to me, it's because I'm not doing well on like a hormonal level at the moment. It's not about like, oh gosh, I'm so sad. Like, I don't think that people understand when you've been through like stuff in your personal life, or you've been through disgrace or shame or challenge or cancellation on a personal level. When you've been through these things, online hate comments are just so nothing in comparison. So it's like, if I choose to fight with somebody online, oh, thank you. It's a different camera. I'm using someone else's computer. But it's like, if I'm choosing to respond to somebody, it's because I'm choosing to. It's not like oh my gosh, I'm just spun out of control. I think what irritates me the most, which I probably shouldn't say this, but what really irritates me is just when people say things about me that are not reflective of anything. Like when it's a very clear projection, it's very clearly not real. I don't mind as much, like if somebody has an issue with something I actually said, but I get really irritated when somebody acts like I said something that I didn't say. And they're so convinced, and they just have all these issues. And it's like, I'm not your mom. I'm not your fucking friend. I'm not anything. Like, back the fuck off and get over it. And just like, if you don't like somebody, then don't watch them. I don't understand that idea of like, oh, I don't like your content, or I don't like you, so you have to change for me. It's like, hun, there are plenty of people out there, and it's like, if you don't like something, or I don't like something, why try to get somebody to change? Just move on, especially when it's a stranger. Yeah, well, to me, when people believe them and all that, that's just whatever to me, because I think people have to just see things as they are. And if people can't question things, and also, people need to look at what they're looking at and their sources and who they're listening to, you know. I think that that's important as well. So if somebody believes it without question, again, I think no matter what, it's not in your control. It's like being in high school. If somebody starts rumors about you in high school, you can't control what people say about you. You can't control if people believe it or not. And it doesn't really, at the end of the day, why are people doing that? It's because they're threatened. They feel upset. People are upset, you know. This one person is so set on being an example, so I will make them an example in this stream. It's probably the last stream where I will interact whatsoever. But what I will say is that person is very obsessed with their gender identity, and my existence as a very feminine gay male is very upsetting to them because it undermines what they believe. So when your existence undermines what somebody believes, which I believe you can be an extremely feminine man, for example, I don't have to identify as anything other than a man. I'm a gay man who's very feminine. That undermines the entire thing. You see what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, Bill. But yeah, so anyways, that's what it is. People don't like it if you undermine. Yeah, I would say so, Shannon. Which again, that's their life. I'm not even necessarily taking a hard stance on what other people do, but they're upset that I'm not deciding to transition and that I never will, which I won't ever. So, and I would never advocate for transition. I would never do it myself. I hardly ever even comment on it. But my existence as a feminine gay man is so threatening to that person's ideology because I show that it's not real, you know? Because it's not. It's something you choose to believe in, which I don't. I don't believe that you can't be feminine in a man. I don't believe that. So, but anyways, that's kind of my whole thing is like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. So anyways, that's kind of my whole thing is like, I don't, what are you supposed to do about that? It's the same thing with losing weight. And that's really what fat acceptance people have accomplished is they've accomplished the idea of spreading the ideology that people cannot lose a significant amount of weight. So therefore, if you do lose a significant amount of weight, then you are undermining a lot of people's ideology, which means that they're upset, that there's scandal, that there's reason to make things up about you because they just don't like you. Which that happens too. Sometimes people just don't like you, but at the same time, sometimes people just like you. It's not all about earning people's love or earning people's acceptance or earning this or that or the other. We don't have to do that because it just ultimately doesn't matter. All that matters is that you stay true to who you are, and then people are I don't know. I know, but it's really extra. Um, but yeah, that's my thing. And like I said, I don't think people really. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure too. I don't think people really like. They don't always believe the person. Yeah. Yeah, fair enough, Lisa. Oh my God. Yes, yeah, 100%. And you know, it's kind of like at the same time, you don't have to be that greedy. Like, you don't have to have everybody love you all the time. Because it's just ridiculous. Because I think it comes out of greed too. It comes out of like a desperation or greed or like a, oh my gosh, I need everyone to like me. I need everybody to resonate with me. I need to be liked by everybody. I need this. I need this. And it's like, you don't. You're fine. And so I don't know. But like I said, there's a lot of times in my life when I've done this. Oh my God, so stupid. There's a lot of times where I've done certain things and people just, I don't know, they're upset because it breaks their dogma, which again, I don't like dogma of any kind. It really, really irritates me because it's like, I think in terms of dogma, a lot of things are your choice to believe in, or it's your choice to believe. So you don't have to project it onto everyone else, or you don't have to actually do all this stuff and like get things to, you know. Oh my gosh. This is so extra. I'm just dying. This is so weird. Yeah, pretty much. Isn't it wild being normal? I know. It is. It is. But like I said, like I've had this kind of stuff happen to me a lot. So why would I care? You know? Because it's like, I think a lot of people have been told lies about people at this point, and I don't know if it works anymore because it's like, it's not 2010 anymore. We're not in high school anymore. It's not that time. It's like people have been told lies so many times about people, about things, about situations. It's like, I think most people with an iota of intelligence, they learn to question things, or they learn to see for themselves. They learn to see these different things, you know? So it's like, I'm in my albatross era. Mhm. But when you look at it, and like, look at this stream, for example. This stream is, look at these accounts. Look at this situation. This is one person. So how many more people are in here? There's just as a tiny, tiny, tiny stream. There's 8 people that I see in this stream. So should I try to appease the one and forget the 7? And that's what a lot of channels and a lot of people in a content creator position, that's what a lot of them do, is they try to appease the one. I'm not going to appease the one. I'm going to appease the 7 because I can be a little bit more calculated than that. Because that's the thing. One person in this stream may really, really not like me. That's fine. I don't care. But 7 people like me. So I'm going to focus more on the 7. You see? And even if they change and they try to make all these accounts and they try to do all this stuff, which is very obvious, people will not, like, you guys don't care. And I think that's what you guys have to understand is like, you don't care about what that one person is saying, and neither do I. So why are we going to talk about it anymore? Does that make sense? That's kind of the realizations that I'm making too. Because even when I had my little hot water moment on my main channel, the vast majority of people were completely fine with the video or even liked it. So it's like, you just got to be you. Because at the end of the day, if you are yourself, you're going to be fine, because people will like it or they won't. And that's what it is. So I don't know if people are staying by. But yeah, so anyways, these are like the kind of things that I've been thinking about over the past couple weeks. And then like I said, I kind of knew, like I predicted this a while ago too, that this was a year where I think a lot of people are losing a lot. A lot of people are in pain over a lot of things. And so 2024 being the year of breakthroughs and breakdowns, people who are breaking down, they get jealous of those that are having breakthroughs. And so there are a lot of situations and a lot of people, there are a lot of situations with a lot of people where we have, oh my gosh, traffic is distracting. Oh my God. I love it. But yeah, there are a lot of situations where people are going to be jealous of you this year. You know, that's why I discourage you guys from bragging. But for me personally, I am doing a public like journey, and I have to talk about when good things happen, even if it upsets people. Like, I don't get on here and only talk about good or only talk about bad or only talk about this or that. Like, I'm pretty real. And so for me, it's like I don't look at it that way, because it's like, whether if it's a good or a bad time to say something positive, maybe I'd be more popular if I stayed miserable and all that stuff, but I'm just not as miserable, you know. Yeah. Well, I'm like, ooh, man, I'm telling you, living in a tent on the freeway, that's what it sounds like. It's a pretty busy street. But California is no joke. Like, it is a lot busier here. Or definitely a lot more crowded. But seeing some people's cars are like really loud. But anyways, yeah. So I think that those are kind of things that I've been thinking about a lot. And yeah, it's so high school. So high school. All the rumors, the gossip, the drama, the oh my gosh, oh my gosh, and that feeling of like, oh, you're doing better. So now I'm upset, which it's like, I don't know. I still feel like the bar is pretty low for doing better. Like, I'm doing better, but it's like I'm just not dying, you guys. I'm not thriving, you know? And so it's weird how people are so just ridiculous and jealous and bizarre this year. But it makes sense. This is the year when reality comes in. And when reality comes in, for some people, it is a good thing. Some people have been living in a negative reality, or in a reality that is not realistically bad. And some people have been living in a reality that is unrealistically good, and it ends up going away. And I think that that's what's happening. And I see it, and I see kind of the salt. And luckily, like, most of my friends and most of the people, the god of death, not today, that's interesting. I think most of the people that are upset, they're living in some kind of a delusional reality right now. That's my opinion. And the reality is crashing down. So that's my thoughts. And for some people like myself, some realities are not so bad, you know. Like I said, I was really happy to hear from my crush. I was really happy to see my friend get married. I was really happy to fit on the plane. I was really happy of all these different things. I have a lot of support in my life. I'm happy about that. I have stable relationships in my life. I'm happy about that. These are all things that I'm happy about. My health is improving. I'm happy. These are positives. Now, there are still negatives. I still have a lot of financial issues and financial setbacks and things that I'm going to have to work on. But I will say, it's a lot better to have money issues because you can deal with money issues. You always can. You know, some of the stuff, like with my health, it's like you can't buy your health. You can't buy love. You can't buy like a sense of security in yourself or a sense of like being able to sleep at night. You can't buy those things. So there's a lot of things that I have that you can't buy. And luckily, I haven't had to go hungry or homeless or without power or anything, so I have survived. But yes, I want to do better. I do, of course. And this trip is nice and it's nice to have a break. But yeah, there are some not as realistic parts of my experience right now, which I was talking about in my other stream in the, kind of brat summer Leo era, when we get to Virgo, it all kind of goes down. And I think things will be a lot more realistic in Virgo season and kind of negative, which I think for me, it'll just be probably a lot of working very, very hard. And really dealing with the Jupiter and Gemini and dealing with all of this stuff at the same time. And that's the hard part about Jupiter and Gemini is it's everything at once, everything all at once. There's personal stuff, there's romantic stuff, there's financial stuff, there's political stuff, there's religious and spiritual things to worry about. There's all these different questions. There's the YouTube space, there's gossip and intrigue, there's friendships to deal with and think about, there's old things and new things, like my cousin having a baby, like that's very new, right? This year of 2024, it's like it's all happening at the same time. And I think that's happening in all of our lives where we can't focus on just one thing and it's overwhelming. And I feel like going to that wedding and being at a party basically and having some wine and dancing a little bit and being in that environment, it was something I haven't done in such a long time. And it was very healing to do, although it was overwhelming. And I need to desensitize a little bit more because I don't like that I was still struggling from an introvert perspective in that environment. So I need to do a bit more, but it's like I'm just barely getting there, I'm just barely taking off in the plane. But it's good to see, like, I never would have been able to handle that wedding 2 years ago. I never would have been able to handle it. But I could totally handle it this year. And I was fine. I was a little awkward sometimes, but I'm not even that Poindexter anymore. Like, even when I DM'd the crush and all that stuff, like, I didn't, even when I did all that, I was able to respond okay, Does that make sense? As far as this channel, Dee, this channel is a personal channel. So it's not like, personal channels, they don't grow on YouTube. Yes, but I was super awkward in January. It was horrifying. But I'm not as bad now. Not at all. I'm still introverted, obviously. I always will be. But I wasn't that awkward at the wedding. But yeah, you can let me worry about it, Dee. I think it's my business what I choose to do or what career I choose to pursue. I don't think you need to worry about it. It's not your business. If it doesn't work, I can get a job and I can do something else. I mean, I'll survive, you know? I think it's just, I'm going to figure it out one way or the other. And I've been pretty agreeable on that front. Like, I've never been like, oh, I 100% have made it, and oh, it's such a thing, and oh, all this stuff. I've never said that. I've always had skepticism about YouTube. So, but like I said, it's my business, isn't it? Quite literally. It's my effort, it's what I choose to do. And I don't think you need to worry about it. Not that much, you know? But it's fine to ask the question. It's fine to ask, isn't it? Yep. But that would be my answer. Is I'm in my situation. I'm honest about it. Um, but it is what it is. It will work or it won't. When do you decide to quit something? That's up to everybody to figure out. It's the same with any career, really. When do you decide to quit? But I think for me, especially on my other channel, I'm doing better than I've ever done, ever. And in the sense of like, I have a pretty strong viewership. I think it's still worth pursuing. It could change if it completely fails. Then it is what it is. But I don't know. Part of success is hatred and scandal and these kind of things. So honestly, having some weirdo in the stream is kind of a sign of success. It's coming, you know? And that's the thing. Yeah, it is. So I'm working on it. But I'm not like ahead of myself. I'm not like, oh my gosh, I totally made it or whatever. I don't feel that way. But it is like, there's a chance. There's a chance. And I think that that's where I'm like, okay, there's a chance. Have you seen The Dark Insanity playing out? I haven't, BL. I don't watch him. Like, oh my God. Let me see what my cousin said to me. Yeah, it's just funny too, because like, it's just, I think what I'm most happy about is just that I'm not as bored. Jeez. I was so freaking bored. And like last year, you guys know, because I talked about it all the time. And I will say, at the very least, I'm not bored. Like, I'm kind of the opposite. It's like hyperstimulation. It's like, oh my God, wow, we've reached like this other level where it's like, wow, because there's a lot going on. I think that's the thing too that's funny to me about some of the haters and stuff is like, I have so much going on in my life. I can't, like, there are times when I cannot even process all of it because I'm so used to being so ill. So it's like, I'm not used to being this busy, or I'm not used to doing this much. And it's like, I have a lot on my mind. And like I said, sometimes I have fun fighting back or just being a bitch to people online. But most of the time I don't, because I'm too busy, So it's like a lot of the time, especially now, I don't think I can really entertain it. Because like I said, when I get back, I have to just do my shit. And I have to work hard when I get back. Even if it doesn't, the skills you're learning will contribute to some other success down the road or on another channel. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. And I'm not that worried about it. I have some faith in it. I do. I just, it's just nose to the grindstone. It's dealing with haters and criticism and things, which is fine. Like, I've done it forever. Like I said, I'm not even new to online scrutiny whatsoever. So, like I said, people who think that they have a new idea to not like me, congratulations. I had people not like me in person. I had people not like me, in university. Like, I had professors not like me. I had people not like me online already. I had people not like me at my job. Like, it's not, I have bosses not like me. It's not new. It's not original. It's not fabulous. It's just basic as to me. And it's not like, I don't know. But I think what matters is just how you act, and just don't let people change you. Change for your own, change by your own morals, um, and stay true to your character, whatever that is. Bubble says, I think you have a formula for success. You'll be featured on so many channels just for the sustained weight loss. People who don't support you will still support your bank account with the views. That's funny. Possibly. I don't know. I mean, I've had this person kind of obsessed for a while. So there's that, I guess. So, like I said, I think one of the hardest things is keeping people. And I've had a lot of people watch me for a long time. So it's more about getting more eyes and kind of spreading things out a bit. Um, no, this is fine, but I don't care. Your live streams had low views, but Prop taught you the skills to do your one take reactions leading to your channel growing. Of course. Of course. Well, all of my jobs, they help me with YouTube. When I did the call center, it helped me deal with Karen behavior, people hating. Seeing like text on a screen is not as intense as like dealing with somebody who hates your fucking guts on a phone call for a job. It's totally more intense. And I've done that a lot. Even that, I've dealt with haters like I've dealt with hate from customers. It's like, I'm not new to this. This isn't new. It's like, I don't know. It's just blasé to me, you know? It's just ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, it taught me how to speak though when I did that job. Um, when I was at my abusive job, it taught me about power dynamics. It taught me about politics at work. It taught me that there are certain things in certain work environments that will never be pleased, no matter what you do. And all these different things. It taught me about, when I worked at McDonald's, it taught me you don't have to be perfect. It's all that kind of stuff. So it's interesting. Uh, but yeah, so it's just interesting. Um, but I don't know. So I agree with you. As I'm trying to say, y'all. I totally agree. So we'll see. I mean, I'm gonna keep going. Like, I'm very focused on this goal. And I'm hoping that I can I don't even know what I was saying. Sorry, I'm distracted. Always distracted. But anyways, you guys, I think I'm gonna have to go pretty soon. I'm gonna text Eric. Yes, ADHD, 100%. Well, I think my brain is still trying to figure things out. It's weird. I think when you've been like so, um, just, I don't know, like I was so unhealthy, like I barely did anything, like I don't think they don't always realize the Herculean effort to get healthier it was, especially in 2022 or 2023 or like, certain years, 2021, really those 3 years. So it's like for 3 years, 1, 2, 3, yeah, it was like the vast majority of my focus. And now this year it's not. So it's like, whoa, I'm having to like spin 5 plates at once. And wow, this is really weird. So I don't know if it's ADHD or if it's just that I'm overwhelmed, you know? Yes, I have, Bubble. Like we did the wedding. Like I've gone to Stomping Ground. I went to the mall and stuff. I've done like the tour. I'm still focusing on my albatross shot. Um, which I might have to do that later. But once I have that, I'll be really happy. And then I'm just kind of chilling and just resting a bit. I mean, it's okay for me to rest too. Like I did the wedding yesterday. So it's like, it's good to just catch up with people and rest as well. And I don't feel bad about that. And I still have to do YouTube on top of it, you know? So I'm still going to have to film and stuff because the video I already filmed didn't work. So I have to do it again. So it's like, yeah, got to keep on keeping on. It's a process. It really is. Anyways, you guys, I think I'm going to get going. I enjoyed this. I'm glad that that person could help me kind of show a lesson a little bit and kind of talk about what I see happening a lot. I do think there is a lot of perception manipulation going on, but I don't think it will be very successful. I'm sorry. With Jupiter and Gemini, people have a skepticism about things. So I don't think it's going to work this year. I think liars are having a really hard time. And, it is what it is. But anyways, you guys, have a good rest of your day, night, etc. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.